What's up, everybody? It is time for week 30 with the Medtronic 770G. So this week, what are we going to discuss? We're going to discuss my time in range since I've been in manual mode now for a couple weeks, how that overall change has kind of gotten me better time in range. So we're going to discuss that. And before we get started on the video, I do want to apologize. I am having quite a cranky husky at the moment. She's currently in timeout. So if you hear some noises, it's just her over here in the kennel throwing a little bit of a fit. Yeah, she's not real happy with me, and I'm not real happy with her at the moment. So she's in timeout. So let's get started with this week's video. Alright, as most of you guys are familiar, I am having an issue with my transmitter where I can't really use auto mode peacefully. So because of that, I've been in manual mode while Medtronic works with my insurance to get a replacement transmitter ordered and to me. So I've been using manual mode. I think it's going on three good weeks now. And I'm just going to say, you guys, it has dramatically changed a lot with me and the pump. So I'm going to show you on the pump. I know it'll be inverted since I'm using my front facing camera, but you can see how consistent my line is. I do have the high alert threshold set at a little bit below Medtronic's 180. I believe it's about 165, 170 is where I personally have it set. And then I have my low threshold set at 80. And that's kind of helped a little bit. I did make some pump adjustments from last week to this week to kind of make my basal a little bit more aggressive. I was looking at my data and saw that in the afternoons I typically wasn't getting enough basal, which was causing me my blood sugars to rise. So I increased my basal just a little bit to see how that would help. It increased more between the afternoon hours of like, I think it's like lunch to 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. to midnight. It's still a little bit higher than the rest of the night. But then at midnight it drops back down. So that's kind of just what I did my own personal, based on when I typically eat or I'm active, or I might have something that could have a little bit of carbs in it but not too much, and I don't want my sugar to rise with that. So I did do that. I did make some adjustments to my carb ratio as well, and so far it's paid off. If you remember from last week's video, I did an assessment and progress report. I typically like those. They are a good report, gives you a lot of information about your overall diabetes health and your pump. Within this past 7 days for last week's video, I was 98% time in range. And the past 14 days for last week's video, I was 96 time in range. So for this week's video, it has gotten better. In the past 7 days, I just ran the CareLink report, and I will attach it right here for you guys can see it. I did get 100% time in range for the past 7 days, and the past 14 days has been shifted to 98% time in range. So I've definitely seen an improvement with my overall time in range. I am focusing on my GMI number. That is my estimated A1C. On the 14-day report, you can see that it's estimated at, I believe it's 6.4 now, which to me is amazing. I would like to be able to go to my endocrinologist appointment in the next couple of weeks. It's about a month away, and see what my A1C is. It did get a little elevated the last visit. I think it's 7.1, and I'm hoping for like a 6.7 or a 6.8 this time. That'll be really good, and then the next time hopefully closer to a 6.5. So that's kind of how things are going. I've been very happy with the pump in manual mode. I'm not really having any issues. I will say that suspend before low has been working amazingly. I haven't had any issues with that. I haven't had any extreme lows. The pump shuts off insulin and does what it needs to. And for the most part, my sugar does rise back up within the 2-hour time frame. I did have one day, it didn't quite rise as high as I wanted it to before the pump resumed delivery. It rose to 93, and I wanted a little over 100 that day just to be on the safe side. So I did suspend my pump for about an additional 30 minutes, and then I checked it again. It was about 110. So I resumed insulin, and everything was good. So that's just kind of how things are going. If you guys have any questions for me with the 770G, make sure and let me know in the comments below, and I'll respond as quickly as possible. If you're having trouble with auto mode, just because I'm not on auto mode, I still can give you guys some help. Give you guys some help and some tips and tricks. So hopefully this video helps everybody and gives you just an update on how things are going. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.